So how long do you do your that cooking video
One.
for? One? Then how is that? How is that?
It's very tiring, bro. No, because I realized, okay, then after that I film lah. Then I realized, what, filming, right? Because you need 8,001 angles to film your cooking. So I realized I had a lot of... Then, the moment you forget to film one side, right? That's it, like you cannot redo the cooking and like refilm the thing. Like,
but how many angles you need to cook? Like just to show one, right? And only one on like overhead.
But
what's the other angle? What's all the other angles? Is it red color? Okay, yeah, it's recording already.
Okay, that one also is it? Oh no, it's recording also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this?
What's this?
Audition or Adobe Audition.
Oh, I never used Adobe Audition before.
Then you use mainly what?
GarageBand. Last time before I moved on to Mac, I used Audacity.
Oh, that's a free one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to my podcast. Yeah, I think this is so weird.
Like, do I look at you? Do I look somewhere else?
No,
Where do I look?
that's why the position is a bit weird because I never ever sit in this position before.
Okay, then I
Oh no, it's fine. I think
tweak with you.
I think I just need to get comfortable because this is the first time I'm sitting like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So welcome to my podcast.
Hi.
And we have Lydia today behind the camera.
Hi, Lydia.
So what did sorry?
I turned it.
Yeah. So why don't you introduce yourself? Like who are you and stuff?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm Carissa. I'm what would you like to know about like my job?
You can say where do you study? I mean, what do you graduate? Where do you graduate from?
Okay.
Yeah, what's your major?
Okay.
And then maybe where are you working at?
Okay.
Yeah, I also want to say, I want to disclose is that you can say as much as possible, and whatever you're not comfortable with disclosing, you can just don't disclose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But whatever I regret, you can cut out also lah.
Yeah, I did that for some, but I just try not to lah because it's a bit. Anyway, you see when you watch the video, right? It's a bit weird. Suddenly, some people watching cut off suddenly halfway, and they know it's like edited. But then if you hear the video, you hear the audio is only right. You cannot hear that there is like some editing. But
Right. Okay.
yeah, I'll do it lah. Yeah.
Okay. Then I try not to let you cut.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Carissa. I graduated from SMU. My degree was in social sciences. My major I majored in sociology and marketing, so I did a double major. I graduated in 2018. Yeah, 2018. So now I'm working as an ad ops specialist at a video advertising company.
Alright.
Yeah.
So how do you get into SMU, and why do you choose that two majors actually?
Okay. How did I get into SMU? Okay, so I chose SMU. Okay lah, my first choice was always something comms / media related.
Comms meaning communication.
Yeah, like communication. So my ideal dream, okay, not dream lah. Like I wanted to get into like Wikimwi lah, NTU Wikimwi.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's the communication school lah.
Yeah.
But then like okay lah, my grade's not good enough, so okay lah, too bad, right? So then I got in. So then after that, I applied for a few courses lah. Then because I did an arts course in JC. So naturally, I decided to do something more social science related lah. Yeah. So I did a social science degree, which was what my grades could get me into also, practically speaking. Then I went to SMU because I knew that SMU gives me second major. Or like SMU is most of people took second major, like you heard from Jiaxuan.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, most people in SMU take second major. So I took the second major in marketing because I thought that was like my foot into something media or comms related.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I went into SMU, because like it increases my chances of doing something that I like or I want.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
But again, granted, doesn't mean you did that degree or that major means you get a job in that field.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was how I maneuvered into.
But what were your choices like when you first applied into SMU, right? What were your choices like? Because I remember Jiaxuan say that when you do a double major, right, the second major is you do it in the second. You declare in the second year, right? So your first major is actually
Sociology.
Oh.
Yeah. So I did sociology because I didn't want to do psych.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do pol science. And at that point of time, that were the two first majors that SMU offered lah.
Okay.
Yeah, so in a social science degree, I only could choose like that few as a first major. So then after that, I decided to... So the reason why I chose marketing again is because I knew I always wanted to do something media related, right? Something within the media industry. But then I was like, okay, like what to do?
Yeah.
Which major should I go for? Because there's also comms, like corporate comms as a second major in SMU.
Oh.
Yeah, but corporate comms was very specific lah. So I was like, okay, what do we do?
Yeah.
Then I think during that time, I had a general idea that I wanted to do a second major. I definitely wanted to declare a second major.
But it's not a must, right?
It's not a must, but most people at SMU do lah. Because I think the way they structure it made it it's easier for you to take a second major.
Oh. But you need to do how many extra modules are there?
Depends on how similar your mods are. So for example, if you take like a second major in finance, right? Finance have more different mods from, let's say, social science or sociology, right? So some mods you can double count. Because SMU, they have you have to take 7 credits outside of your school.
Yeah.
So some you can double count as both a marketing elective as well as a random elective. So it depends on how you can double count lah. So if you take 2 majors that are somewhat similar or you can declare, then you can do that lor.
But normally people take very similar ones or they just take very, very different ones.
I think it's based on preference leh. Preference and popularity.
Oh.
So like I would say a lot of people in SMU took marketing, like especially a lot of social science people, they took marketing as a second major. Because I think a lot of people, or rather, okay lah, I cannot speak for a lot of people, right? I speak for myself. So I wanted to do something like marketing, comms, business related. So might as well just have that second major since it's not going to like be a lot of extra work. I think I only took like extra 5, 6 mods.
Actually, which we throughout your entire year, 4 years. Oh, that's not a lot, right?
Yeah, that's not a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
So like basically every semester you add one.
Yeah,
one
correct.
module.
Correct.
But like you say, it's very normal to take 2 majors, double majors.
Quite common in SMU.
Okay.
Yeah, so I declared marketing again because I still remember, okay, so context, right? Christian again, same church.
Yeah.
So for everybody not who don't know, but yes, now you know. Yeah, so I think before I declared my marketing major, I was quite like anxious. I was like, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Like how I know it will make a difference, right?
Yeah.
Like just because you declare a major doesn't mean that you're gonna get a job in that field. Yeah. And just because you want to get that job in the field doesn't mean that you're gonna get it lah.
Yeah.
So I was a bit like, okay, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I not do it? Then I think it took me a while that I prayed about it. I still remember like I had the assurance after that lah. Yeah, it was quite a cute story. It was quite a funny story. I don't know if I told you before. Maybe I told you. Like the whole it was raining. I think we were going to Botanic Gardens. Yeah, we were going to Botanic Gardens. It was raining. Then between Botanic Gardens, no, what's that place called? Serene Center. Is it Serene Center?
Okay.
Yeah, between Serene Center and Botanic Gardens, there's a like empty road, right? Like non-sheltered.
Yeah.
So I remember that was the week that I had to declare. Like by then you had to declare. If you don't, then they'll be like, okay, whatever lah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was like, okay. I was still thinking. I was like, okay, God, how? That's remember I was in the MRT. Then I was like, God, it's raining outside. How I know umbrella. I need to cross over. Yeah.
Huh?
So then,
okay.
So then after that, I prayed about it, like just to make the rain stop. Nothing to do with my major, whatever, right?
Okay.
Just for the rain.
Yeah.
Then the next thing I know, I came out of the MRT. I think Gladys was with me. So one of our other mutual friends lah. So she walked out of the MRT. Then she was like, I think stop raining already. I was like, no, it's raining. You can see the rain. Like it's clearly raining. Then she was like, huh? But we just try lah. Because we were late to go to Serena. So we stretched our hands out. Then there was no rain. We like, but we can see the rain, but we felt nothing.
What do you mean? I don't understand. You can see the rain, but you don't feel anything.
Yeah, I don't feel anything on my hand. So I was like, no, like, dude, we can see the thing, right? We come out the escalator, we still see the rain. Then, but we stretch our hand, we don't feel anything. Then we're like, hey, how? Why don't just walk now? Then, just walk ah? Okay lor, walk lor. The moment we step out and walk, right, suddenly the rain stopped. So we were dried completely from the whole... Yeah, and it wasn't like baby rain kind. It was like the quite intense kind. So then after that, the moment we decided to step out there, it stopped raining. Then we walked all the way to Serene. Then that was the moment I was like, okay, God, you know, you'll prepare for me lah. You'll take care of me. Sometimes I just need to take a step of faith, right? Like who knows? So then that's when I decided, okay, you know what? Let's just declare. Then we'll see what happens. Yeah. So I think that was like the definite point for me to decide lah. But I think all the while I had the intention to want to declare marketing and to do something in this area. It's just that that point was like, okay, just do it already.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, okay lor.
It's very different from Matthew lah. Matthew one was like he said he got the peace from God, right? He said he prayed about it. Then when he clicked the HR button, then he said he got that peace. As compared to he wanted to declare something else.
Marketing, I think, was it?
Oh yeah, I think it was marketing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, but yours was more of a trust, is it?
Yeah,
like
I think it was knowing that like that assurance of like just take that step of faith. I will take care for you. Eventually things will be fine. So don't have to go and worry, because I'm the kind of person that I won't do something unless I'm very sure that it will lead me to where I want to go. So throughout the whole in-between, which I guess is a lesson in life, right? Like, you know, like I want to get to this job, I want to get to this job. I want to make sure that whatever job I change to in the middle, whatever I declare, whatever internship that I take is a stepping stone to my next. But that is not a guarantee. I think I've come to realize that it's not guaranteed that just because I take this internship, just because I take this job, doesn't mean that it will bring me to where I want to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it was more of like if at that point of time God gave me the assurance to take that step, then just go ahead lor. So that's why I decided to, okay, just declare lah. Then so I declared the marketing major.
But were you thinking of other majors as well, other than marketing?
Yes, there was this other thing called arts culture management.
What's that?
Arts culture management, I did go and like find out too in depth lah, but essentially what it is like the job that you get in the future is very like a curator. So you work in a museum, you get to like curate art pieces and things like that, and then you can even work in like events, so you manage like I don't know, performances, concerts, events, things like that lor.
Oh, but that was something that you like also lah. Like
yeah, I think it was something I considered at that point of time lah. But honestly, if you ask me now, I would say I think a lot has changed lah.
But do you do any internships during your time in SMU?
I would say half my school life I'm doing part-time internship.
Half meaning like 1.5 years, 2 years?
2 years. In a span of, I think, in the 4 years, around 2 years, I've always, because in SMU, I think our curriculum is quite chill compared to NUS and NTU. You have like 3 hours, and then after that it's free and easy how you want to work your projects and stuff. 3
hours of school only?
No, one module is about 3 hours per week.
That's the same as NUS, no man?
But they don't break it down, right? So NUS, you have your you have your, what's it called? Your lecture, and then you have your tutorial.
Yeah.
SMU shrinks everything together into a 3-hour block.
Oh, it's all in one shot.
Correct. So you just take like, let's say I go school 8:30 to 11:30.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then after that you can just do whatever you want to.
Yeah. So whatever project meeting you have after that is on time, on target lah. The school only holds you for 3 hours.
Okay.
In one block. Yeah. So because of that, I had a lot of free time. So I took, can't even remember.
I feel like you take a lot.
I took a lot, my goodness.
So which one was the one was the most impactful one? Or the most fun, or the most,
Most
why Lydia look so stressed? I don't understand. Why are you looking so stressed?
She preparing, you know. She like, need to write notes now.
I'll ask you a different question, yeah.
See, I tell you already, Maurice ask different questions.
No, I mean like, let's relax, yeah.
He will go according to the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah. I look at her like, I was stressed. Then I'm like, asking her a question, but then she's thinking about it. I'm like,
You just together lah, together. So what was I saying? Wow, impactful.
Yeah, or the one the one before you graduate, something like that. Yeah.
My goodness. Okay, why not I go chronologically?
Okay, yeah.
So I think the very first one that I had to do was from SMU. Like I think you heard from Jiaxuan, it's mandatory for everyone to do, but they don't put it into your curriculum, so you have to find time after that. So that one I actually did an internship at Scantic. Through Juice. So Juice, again, for context, is our mutual friend. So I worked marketing over there lah. So I think my understanding of marketing during internship and post-internship was quite different. I think the internships that I went to, I would say, is a very specific type of marketing. Because like marketing was like, it's quite a full range, right? I would say most of my internship experience were mostly content marketing.
What's the different marketing that you have?
I guess within marketing there's different kind, right? So a lot of people, when they think of marketing in a job or in a company, they think it's just like doing fluff things lah. Yeah, you all fluff something out of the product, you all write something, then like it's just all about fluffing.
Yeah, correct. I also think that way.
Right. It's just how you make things look good, how you make things sound nice, all that. Yeah. So I think I would say most of my internship is something like that. So basically telling a story lah. So I think in Scantic I did a bit of branding work for them. So the on and off, like the daily thing. So I think during then they were shifting to e-commerce. They want to launch their e-commerce website.
Oh, this was when, sorry?
This was 2016, I think.
Okay.
2016. So then they wanted to launch their e-commerce website. Then they sent me for Google AdWords class. So that's when there's another part of marketing there's within the marketing job scope, which is advertising, right?
Yeah.
So people always confuse advertising, marketing, comms, like they all just sound the same thing. It's just fluff.
It's all the same thing with advertising and marketing.
No, it's very different. It's very, very different. Okay, so marketing is basically how you market and sell a product, right?
Yeah.
So within how you sell a product, there's a lot of things. There's price, there's promotion. Oh my goodness, wait, there's 4 pieces of marketing. I forgot already. There's marketing, promotion, there's price, promotion, placement. And
product,
correct. Messy. Marketing 101, guys. So yeah, basically is this 4, right? So advertisement falls under promotion. Advertising falls under promotion.
So advertisement is part of marketing.
Yes, correct, technically. Yeah, so when a company talks about how they want to market a product, they look at this whole 4 things, right? So the product will be the product development and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then what the market wants, how should they tweak their product to fit the needs of the market and the wants and things like that. Then you have your price how you price certain things and stuff like that. Placement will be where you position your products. So could be the channels and things like that, or like how you even position your product, like what is the whole positioning of where you want to stand in the market and things like that.
But you learn all this during the Google ad class or what?
No, I learned this in school.
So how did the Google ad class
The Google ad class was AdWords. So basically it was a course that helps you maximize your how do you create ads on Google using the Google platform. So like, and that one was specifically for search. So I think we were optimizing so like for example, someone searched like a chair. So how do you ensure that when you place advertisements, that when you search, right, like in your Google interface, there's always the top few that they'll have the word ads next to it.
Yeah, correct.
Those are paid ads law. So that itself is the advertisement. So that's what people are paying for. So I think I went for that and they kind of taught you like, okay, how to maximize, how does that work and things like that. So that is part of advertisement. So I think that was something that I learned out of the whole, rather than just, it's telling a story, doing a poster, that kind of thing. Like people always think it's just writing a poster, putting the poster out there and be like, stale. Yeah, so I think that's kind of what I learned from the AdWords law. And then here and there, I interned. After that, I interned in where did I go next? There was a period of time I was very into video editing. So I really wanted to do video. Yeah, right. You also write your vlogs.
No.
Look at that. Yeah, so I was very into video editing. So that's when I did freelance video editing. Okay. So I joined this. It was like a fashion/lifestyle editorial website lah. So their main business model is creating editorials. So paid content. There will be a brand that come to them and say like, I would like to, can you do a piece? It's like magazine, but online magazine. So can you do a piece about, like, let's say this new line of makeup? Can you find the people to tell the story that's linked to this brand? And we just want to like product placement lah, basically. Yeah. So I worked with this website, and what I did was I edited their videos. I did a bit of their newsletter also. So I was part of the whole like production process lah. So I filmed, I edited, I storyboarded, and the whole process. So I think that's more of content, more branding also. Yeah, so there's like the content branding part. So I think that was quite exciting because I think that was my first step into a bit of like the fashion world also. So we went to quite a few like press conferences or like press releases also. So like they have, let's say they launch a new line. So we worked with luxury products actually. So that was quite fun lah. I think that was quite like eye-opening. So I just went around with my boss. So we just went to different launches where they had new line of, let's say, a new line of luxury bag or something lah. So I think we went to, when Victoria Beckham had a new launch of her makeup line, I think we participated in that also. And I think there were a few lah. So like Intercontinental, that was another brand that we worked with also. The hotel, when they launched their hotel. And I think the whole website was very focused about empowering women. Yeah, and how women can come into play lah. So that was like the whole branding of their website. So they always had a strong woman to tell the story of the brand and how the brand how it falls in line with their philosophy, I guess, and tell a story for the brand. So then I think we worked a bit with I think the boss of Love Bonito.
Oh, that's the very popular one now, right?
Yeah, so
I see all everywhere.
Yeah, so I think it was quite interesting. Like we managed to film with her, and then we also filmed.
The founder itself.
So she was featured in one of the videos, lah.
Oh, this was when? This was back in 2017.
Around 17, I think.
That's where they kind of started, right? They kind of like
when they starting to take off, I think they were doing quite well, like locally. It was like quite a good brand, lah.
Oh, so they actually pay you to actually like help them to?
No, they were actually our. Okay, so she was our talent. So meaning she was featured in the video, and we told the story for the client was actually Intercontinental.
Oh, okay. So she is basically the face of the video. Oh, yeah.
Correct. So the whole storyline was she was just talking about how she resonates with the idea of rest, what it means to find rest. And I guess that was like in line with the whole story that Intercontinental was trying to tell. Like having a restful vacation and to have me time and things like that. Yeah, so I think that was quite interesting because I get to meet a lot of different people within the industry also. I feel like, your influencer things. Yeah, so I think that was quite exciting. Like it was new for me at that time. I was like, okay, that's fun. So I think that was checked off the box also.
How long was this internship? Like how long was each? Like the one at Scantic and the one at this one?
Scantic was about 4 months.
That's almost a whole semester.
I think I did it during the summer intern,
okay.
and then I eat in a little bit before or after. Yeah. Then after that, I did the fashion editorial one. I did it part-time internship. So I think I did about 2 months, and then after that, I think the boss was really nice lah. She's really sweet. So after that, she still kept me on. Like whenever she has a video she wants to shoot, on and off, she'll call me. Even though I don't like go to the office all the time, I don't work for her, but it's like a project basis lah. So whenever she needs like video editing, so just call me on, and then we'll just like work on something together lah. So I think that was quite cool. I can't remember how long that was lah, but that was like project based on and off.
But this was a very big company, is it? Or like a small team?
They're quite a small team. They're quite a lean company, I would say.
Like a startup.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting. I quite enjoyed that also. That was quite fun. Yeah.
But were you in charge also of the videoing or just the editing part?
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
So I shoot, I cut, and then of course my boss will give me direction. Like, okay, I don't really like this one, I don't really like that one. Can we do this? Can we do that? But like basically I shoot, I cut, I edit, the post, the pre, the whole process lah. And I think that's something that a lot of freelancers don't know. And I think as myself also, it's something that I came out, I realized whatever you charge people is how much you value yourself.
Yeah.
So during that point, you paise. Then you're like, oh, I don't really want to charge. Then I realize, wow, no. Like everything must be said in black and white. It's not as easy as like, oh, can you help me? And then just like, yeah. Like even though you can be friends, you can be nice. This must be like, then I realized, okay, certain things I must set like, you only get 3 revisions.
Yeah.
So anything other than that, you always add on an extra fee. And I think that was something that I didn't know at that point of time.
So can I ask how much do you ask her to pay? Like how much was it?
It was like, I think a 2.5 minute long video.
Yeah.
350.
350. How long do you shoot though? Like what was that? Like how many days you shoot? Like
it was a 1 day shoot. Okay. About 4 hours shoot, and then on top of that, I think the total editing hours was about like 4 hours or so. So it was
like a whole day lah.
It was quite a long process, and plus usually this kind of thing people can charge up to 1,000, 2,000s.
Oh.
Yeah, so after that I realized what the market rate was like. Okay, granted that I'm not a professional, so like from there you have to discount a bit, right?
Yeah.
But if you realize someone likes what you do, then as a freelancer you have the right to say, okay, this is what I'm offering.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that I learned lah, which is why I think after all these, right? Okay, so then maybe this is a good segue into my next internship, which was essentially I worked at a chocolate producer. So they are chocolate manufacturers.
Okay.
So I worked I interned under their corporate comms arm. Yeah, so I did video editing again, but this was for internal comms because this is a super huge MNC.
Okay.
So they have a lot of budget for like internal comms and things like that lah. So for that they kind of they produce a lot of video just for internal communications.
Yeah, but what's this? Okay, if I can ask, what's this videos for? Like, internally, like. I mean, what is it supposed to do? Like,
it could be something that maybe the HR team initiated. It could be something like a launch of a new product that they want to communicate internally, or it could be just like they want to introduce a new head of the department or things like that, and then they want to do interviews. Yeah, then they do interviews with the head on it.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. They have different people like. It's quite like intense, I feel, for internal communications.
Exactly. I thought it's like just an email or like a...
Yeah. It was like a whole shoot. Like the whole setup was even more intense than this. It's like 3 cameras, like 8,001 lights. And then like...
What's the budget, man?
I don't know lah, but I thought it was really quite professional. And I feel like maybe because they're MNC, and like the communications, I think it's global lah. So I think they will want to invest.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, because I think part of it involves, like, that's why I say difference in marketing also got a bit of comms, because it involves a bit of like corporate branding.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of like employee branding involved also. So I guess that's kind of where, and then like it crossed over a bit with HR also sometimes. So I think that was why they wanted to invest in that law.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was a part-time internship. I did that while I was working. While I was schooling. I think that was only 2 months, not very long.
Well, how do you get all this part-time internship, man? It's so easy. It sounds like it's very easy to get part-time internship. Where do you go and find this kind of part-time internship?
Some I do online. So like, last time when Instagram was not like, okay, I think maybe they still do it now. They do hiring calls on Instagram. So like smaller SMEs. Or like startups, they would like, and I think especially if you want to look at fashion or influencer, this kind of people, they would like put on a random post on Instagram and say like, oh, we're hiring, you want to come, that kind. And then you just respond to one of those like Insta stories or Instagram posts. So that was,
I always thought that was like some scam or something. I don't know.
I also thought it was scam because I got one I saw, right? Like, I think they were hiring salespeople, sales/marketing for some sports brand.
Yeah,
so I was like, then I clicked there, it's legit. They linked to like some official like company website. So I was like, okay, not bad. Yeah. But the rest honestly is connections lah.
Oh, true.
The rest were connections.
Oh.
Yeah. So even the chocolate manufacturer, someone from church also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now you're still doing. So now you're moving on to like after the internship, the chocolate factory one. And it's another one, is it?
Chocolate factory was the last internship that I did.
Right before you graduate,
right before I graduate. Yeah, I think in between from the chocolate to previously, I think in between I had like, I think I worked with on and off with my previous boss, the fashion one, to do some freelance projects. So after that, I was like, okay, so I think this is where my threshold was at. I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do content already. It's too tiring. And I enjoy doing these things when there's no pressure. But suddenly when there's like it's my job, it becomes very tiring. There's an expectation to tell stories and to create things on the go, on the fly. And I think as much as I enjoy it, it becomes very pressurizing for me to be that kind of person all the time. And I think through my past experience, I felt a bit like, it doesn't pay.
It doesn't pay?
It doesn't pay very well.
You can 1,000 plus.
Yeah lah, if you have your own production company lor. But I think at that point of time, I was like, wow, I don't think I want to do this kind of creative work. Like the actual editing. Because my last few internships were all like that. It was very content heavy kind of work. And that was when I decided, maybe not, you know, like it's quite tiring, and like I don't have the credentials of, let's say, like a NAFA or LaSalle student would have, because they literally train, or like ADM, Art Design Media in NTU, right? They literally work on these like Premiere Pro, all your different things. They operate, like their degree is literally this, right?
Yeah.
So, and they actually have hands-on experience in it, and what I have is just from what I gathered in internship, which is not too bad too.
Yeah.
But I think I concluded that I wouldn't want to do this in the long run lah. Like I don't want to do creative work. I feel that it takes a toll on me, because I enjoy it, but then what I enjoy now suddenly becomes an expectation. And if I don't deliver to a certain standard, right, it's like, then I'll feel very uncomfortable. It's like people will have to tell me what I like and what I think is right or wrong. Yeah, so I didn't really want that lah. So that's when I moved.
Sorry, but were there any were there any content that you created, right, that didn't meet the expectations, that made you feel that way, that you feel it's like a toll on you?
A bit. I think most of the time is because... Most
of the time?
Yeah. Because people always have feedback about what you do, correct? Yeah. No one's going to be like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the problem is, by the time I give them, because I'm quite a perfectionist, so by the time I give them, I will have revised it at least 8 million times already. So if I pass to you and then you revise it furthermore,
Yeah.
I'll be like, wow, I see this thing at least like a gazillion times already. Like I'm quite done looking at it already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's when I'm like, okay, creative work is not for me.
Okay.
Like I enjoy it, but probably not what I want to go into lah.
So what's the maximum number of revisions have you ever done for like one video? Like the most?
I cannot count. I honestly don't know. Like I never count it. Because it's insane one. Like they'll be like, okay, this part I want to remove, this part can we change, this one the sound. Then sometimes right, you don't have a choice. Like the content that I recorded is just not good, correct?
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do about this? Like I'm just the editor. What I can do is enhance or like change the cut. Then you expect me to do magic, like bro.
You cannot change the content, right?
Yeah, the person cannot talk, right? She sounds bad. It's not my fault, right? She just sounds bad. Like you record something wrongly, the lighting is not good. The lighting's not good. I only can color correct that much, right? So like I guess it's that expectation law, and I guess that's what happens when you work for a client and that you're a freelancer. People always have that kind of expectation on you that like, oh, I pay you so much, so you need to deliver to this standard.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think I didn't want something that I enjoy to have that kind of pressure.
Oh.
Yeah. So I rather keep this for myself to create my own content at my own time and pace.
So now do you still create any content?
During circuit breaker, I did lah.
What kind of content do you create?
I think I did a cooking video. So I started cooking. So I was like, oh, fun. Then you know, like you always have lofty dreams, like, oh, maybe we start a YouTube account, we can start monetizing. I think because I'm in video advertising now, right? So I know a lot more about like how video advertisements work and like what is the amount that you can actually earn and all these kind of things. So I did that lah. Then so I started like, oh, maybe we can like do a schedule, you know, then we can upload regularly, you know. So that's why I feel like doing this podcast regularly, it takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, that's why I kind of I take it week by week. Actually, when I first started, right, I was quite scared to do it. So I told myself I just do it week by week. And then I just tell myself, okay, I don't put myself like so much pressure on like trying to get people like what the next 6 months like that. I just say, okay, this week I ask this person, next week I ask this person, next week I ask this person. Yeah, so I think that kind of like get the ball rolling.
Yeah, because it's tough actually. Like I held myself to that expectation. Yeah. And then I realized like, nope. Yeah.
So how long do you do your that cooking video?
One.
What? Then how is that? How is that?
It's very tiring, bro. No, because I realized, okay, then after that I film lah. Then I realized what filming, right? Because you need 8,001 angles to film your cooking. So I realized I had a lot of. Then you know the moment you forget to film one side, right? That's it, you know. Like you cannot redo the cooking and like refilm the thing. Like
but how many angles you need to cook? Like just to show one, right? And one on like overhead. What's the other? What's all the other angles?
So like when you cut, you need the camera to be somewhere. Then when you throw in, you need to show the thing throwing in. Then when you turn on the fire, you want to show that your hand turning the fire.
Oh, you want to do the
right?
very, very professional one, like the.
That's why I say I hold. Correct. That's why I say I hold myself to a certain standard. Because to me, it's like if it's not good, then why won't put it out, right? Like
true lah.
Even though nobody watch lah, but still.
No, but I feel like okay, maybe I feel like at the start, right? You should not say. I won't say you should lah, but I think I feel like people should. Kind of set themselves like some kind of a lower standard first. Yeah. Because you only have a limited amount of, I mean, unless you are super rich, you can buy 1,000 cameras and hire 1,000 people. Yeah, but if let's say you are just one camera, one person, you kind of have to manage your expectations.
I mean, look at this. And we are on episode number what now?
I don't know, 8
See?
8 or 9, yeah, 8.
It's hard, yeah. Like content, okay lah.
But I kind of limited everything. I didn't buy the most expensive mic. I didn't buy the most expensive everything. Yeah, the camera is also some $800 thing. I got it like a few years back. And I just put everything together and then, like that.
Not bad, right? Like, yeah.
But people keep asking me about, can we do 3 people, like three mics and stuff? I say, I don't have the money to buy that. Yeah. Because I think Lydia asked me just now. Like, can we do like 3 people? I say, I don't have the mic, so.
Unless you start monetizing. So when you start monetizing, then you invest, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how to get this monetized.
Quite hard. Podcast monetizing is quite hard. Yeah.
So I just do it for see how it goes first lah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just see how it goes.
That's fine. It's nice though. Like it's interesting lah, I guess. So that's why I felt like my hobby, right? I like to do it in my time. I don't want it to become my job. Because there comes a point where you need, like, you know, so long as a job, there are expectations. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm done. So I think that's where the switch was me the switch was for me when I decided to move into my full-time job. Yeah. I'm not going to apply to any more like content related or like creative related work. Yeah.
So how do you end up at your current job now? Yeah.
So remember I told you that I was quite like video obsessed. Yeah. So I always wanted to do something video related. So when a job opened up in a video advertising company, it was like it started off as a marketing internship role, I think.
Internship role?
Yeah.
It's not a full-time role?
No, they advertised it as a full-time internship.
Okay.
Then after that, I think when I wrote it, I say, hey, actually I'm a grad. Is there any way that you can convert this? And they're like, oh yeah, okay, can. So then...
Not immediately?
No lah, after a few rounds of interview lah, basically.
I okay, can. Okay.
Oh, so good. I also want to. But it was like a marketing coordinator for a video advertising platform lah. So they have their own platform. They create videos with it. So I applied for that. I honestly think that is also like... I really think that God opened up this window also lah, because that was... I applied for a lot of jobs, but this was the only one that got back to me.
How many? Can I ask how many you apply? Or how many did you apply? And was it all just in that specific sector and that specific role?
It was all marketing roles.
Okay.
Marketing and comms roles. Yeah, so I think I did that. But I took a like 6-month break.
6 months break from what?
From work, because I've been doing internship like forever.
Yeah.
After I graduated, right? So after I graduated, I took a 6-month break of not doing anything. And then just like, I didn't even like actively apply. I think I only started actively applying in June.
You graduated in August, right?
Graduate in August lah, but I finished school in April.
Oh, April, May, June. 2 months only, what? April, May, June.
Yeah, but I only started work in October.
Oh, okay, that's a 6 months, okay.
Yeah, I started work in October.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that was like, so I decided to apply. So this was kind of like the only role, in fact, I only got offered in like, I think September.
Oh, but when did you get the first interview?
This was the only role that offered me. Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's take it. It's video, is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's marketing, sounds like aligned with what I want.
Yeah.
And like, I believe that if God opened this only one, then by faith, I just go lah. Yeah, so I think I prayed about it, I felt the peace. I was like, okay, let's do it. So my role has since transitioned 3 times. So I've only been in my current company, I think 2 years, 7 months.
So you never changed company, just always this company?
It's the same company. But my role has drastically evolved in the last 3 months.
So what was
in the last 3 years, sorry.
How do you start? What was the start like?
The start was marketing coordinator. So my main role involved like, so this is a video hosting platform, right? So we can curate the content that's on the platform. So my main KPI was to increase the number of views on the platform. Yeah. Okay. So it's similar to YouTube, but we don't have UGC content. So meaning we don't have user generated content. Not everyone and anyone can create an account. You have to be like a publisher or
a famous person lah.
You must have credentials lah. Basically, you must have owned your own company. You must be a media company. You cannot just be like, oh, I'm Maurice. I would like to create an account called Overtime with Maurice. Yeah. And we don't monetize UGC content. We only monetize like publishers, partners, V-partners. That's what we call them. So yeah, so I think I started out my main KPI, I think for about a year. That was what I did. We tried to promote our partners' content also. So for example, one of our publishers that we work with is JYP. So the Korean entertainment company, like JYP Entertainment, they got like Twice.
It's not BTS, I don't know.
Okay, it's not BTS, it's not BTS. But yeah, it's the Korean... do you know Wonder Girls used to be under them? Okay lah, maybe.
I will assume that I know lah.
Yeah, okay, let's just assume. Yeah,
Wonder
okay.
Girls, I don't really know.
Yeah, great. So that one, then we would do like giveaways. So we'll work with them to kind of increase their viewership and drive different campaigns to increase their views on our platforms. So for 1 year, we kind of did that. So we choose what content to create. So we take care of 14 markets across APAC. So 14 homepages, we work with local publishers. So across, not just in Singapore. I think Singapore is one of our smaller markets. Yeah. So we work with Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Thailand. So I think that's kind of where. So I would just organize the homepage. So we have an app also, so you have to send out push notifications when do new videos come out, like what kind of content we want to drive in, what kind of campaigns will we do, what channels do we use to push this kind of content. So that was like the B2C part of my role. Then there was also the B2B part where I created like press releases for let's say now we work with a new publisher, a new like a broadcaster. Then we will have to announce, write a press release like, oh, we have partnered with this broadcaster, blah blah blah, things like that, to announce these partnerships lah. So which is again in the end to equip, or rather to reach the end goal of having advertisers want to buy ads on our space.
But so, I don't know if I can ask you this question, but because you see you partner with a lot of Korean like group and stuff, right? A lot of famous groups. And so why would they choose your platform over say another?
What a great question.
Over YouTube.
What a great question.
That's one I don't know if I can ask you, but
you can. I think that is the biggest question that everyone is asking in this advertising industry. Because to be very fair in advertising, if you're not Google, if you're not Facebook, you're basically nobody.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially video, YouTube, it's
exactly like how, right? So I think the key thing, which is something that I feel like I've learned joining this, and I think I appreciate it a lot more than fluff or like storytelling lah. So is that Google, okay, I can say this because it's everywhere. There are a lot of articles that are like saying it also. Google is essentially a black box.
A black box?
Yes.
What's a black box?
So Google has their own platform, right? They have so they have search ads, they have video ads, they have display ads.
Okay.
They have every kind of ads, correct? And they serve ads from the same platform, from DV360 for videos, excuse me, and things like that. So these platforms are black boxes because there's no third-party measurements to show whether or not what they are saying and reporting is actually accurate.
Obviously, there's no one that's auditing on the outside.
Correct.
On this.
Correct. They are a black box.
Okay.
So whatever they give publishers and they say, oh, you got 2 million views. Out of 2 million, 20% are fraudulent views. So I will not pay you for that. You got no way of saying whether or not what they say is true.
Or you cannot discredit them, basically.
No. And you cannot fight for it. So they'll be just like, it's like that, lor. Yeah, there's a lot of lack of transparency.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Facebook, in Google, it's like that. So they are called the walled gardens. It's the walled garden environment where they monopolize the whole thing,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of smaller publishers prefer not to work with them. Because number one, transparency. But then if they want scale, then who cares, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the first point. And I think another point is also YouTube has this thing called YouTube for Publishers. So they pay YouTube publishers differently compared to like the regular monetizing on YouTube.
Oh really? Yeah.
Is they embed the YouTube player on their website.
Wait, I don't get it. So different publishers will be paid differently.
No,
like
there's a percentage cut. I cannot remember the cut exactly lah. But so it's a free video player. It's a free player. But let's say now I go to like for example I don't know, cosmopolitan.com, right? So a lot of these websites now, they have videos on these websites.
Yeah.
So what player do they use? Most of the time YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
But if they were to use the regular YouTube one, right? Unless the traffic, the views they take from youtube.com, the money, the revenue goes back to youtube.com and whoever the publisher is, right?
Yeah.
But then they have this thing called publisher where they can embed the video on their website so that traffic on their website, they also can monetize.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, you know how YouTube is... So if I embed the YouTube video, technically, YouTube is the only one that has the right to monetize my video, right?
Yeah.
So what if I have my own advertisers that want to use my videos and put ads?
Correct.
I got no choice. I have to give YouTube a cut.
Right? So it's always... They always have to take a cut from whatever position you're trying to go from.
Correct. So I don't know the details of it, but I know the difference between like the main difference in our player. So there's a lot of video players that that embed. So like for example, Adobe Flash player is one, right?
So that's what all the embed thing is for. I always thought it was like just there for some computer science reason or some like, okay, now I understand why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you have like JW player and things like that. So all these players, actually cost a lot for publishers. So they have an annual fee where they have to pay a bunch just for them to put onto their website. And then on top of that, like I don't know if I can make revenue just by using your player, right?
Yeah.
So our player is free for publishers. So you don't need to pay a fee when you embed our video, but you get a cut of the revenue if there are ads.
Oh, then how do you... I mean, I can understand why you do that because you earn money. Then how do you guys earn money?
Revenue share lor.
Oh. But you won't be earning as much as YouTube lah.
Correct.
So that's where the difference comes in between your... Okay. But in terms of the exposure wise, I would say YouTube is a more... I don't like look. I don't look down at your company or anything.
No, go ahead. It's fine. It's a fact, right? It's a fact that if you're not YouTube, you don't have the skill.
Yeah.
So then what else do you have? You have niche audiences, lor.
Yeah.
So what we do is and a lot of ads, not all ads are open inverted compliant on YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that we do illegal things. I'm saying we have a lot more specific targeting that is quite niche to a certain group or certain audiences.
Yeah.
So that's because they are not, what they don't have is interactivity. What we have is we allow third party ads to come in. So like for example, your seek bar, we can customize the seek bar to be, for example, let's say you're a car.
Yeah.
You want to do a car ad, right? Your seek bar can be your car brand model.
What is seek bar?
The thing at the bottom, like how far your video goes in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the seek bar lor.
Oh, they can customize that to whatever. Oh.
And then like you can even do like video ad selector. So let's say the ad is like I want to showcase 4 different types of products. So I can click the different shades. Let's say it's a lipstick. I can click 4 different shades of lipstick. Like the ad itself is interactive.
Oh, so you can actually
click and change the ads.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I want to ask also is like, are the number of ads on your platform, is it very similar to YouTube? Because like YouTube nowadays, right, when I watch a video, it's like halfway I watch the video, there's an ad, there's an ad again.
Yes.
Is it very similar to your company's stuff?
So that's the thing about YouTube also. There's no transparency in that, right? So I've heard of people who say they cannot control like how many ads that are being put. Like YouTube can suddenly change it into a double pre-roll and like spoil the entire experience. Yeah. So YouTube, you can decide when you want to put the ads on YouTube. So for us, we can do the same also. You can decide when you want the thing start, end, or whatever. You can even adjust the skip.
Oh.
So let's say you want to do like 15-second skip or 30-second non-skip. It's up to you. So basically, it's customization lor.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite... I feel like, I think your company is... I feel it's more targeting B2B, is it?
Yes,
more B2B
correct.
than
We are B2B.
more B2C.
Yes, and I think that's where my role shifted. So after my first year of doing like content, right? So the second year, the sales team needed someone to do sales marketing, basically to sell the platform and to get advertisers on board, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I know all these things now, because that's where my role shifted and I needed to sell our platform to advertisers. So then our entire strategy changed to target more B2B. So instead of trying to grow views on the platform itself, we grow views by having publishers embed our video on their website.
Oh, okay. So is it very successful? Like, cause I'm pretty sure if you go to your competitor, your advertisers, and you tell them, say, oh, we have this platform, and then they'll probably ask you like, what's the difference? And like they'll probably ask you like, why would you choose you over YouTube, right? Because the number of people you can reach in YouTube is much bigger.
Correct. Correct. So I think it really depends on clients. It really, really depends on clients. Different clients have different KPIs. I think we've done well in terms of interactive video platforms. Interactive video ads.
Like those click ones, right?
Yeah, like can move and then like the thing you can customize the shape and everything.
Yeah, I've not seen that on YouTube.
Yeah, because it's not possible. The technology doesn't support this.
But your company can lah.
Your company can.
I mean, your company.
We can. Our video player supports this format. It's basically a different format of video ad serving.
But do you know why YouTube don't do that?
I don't really know why. Okay, so I know that they don't support a certain type. Okay, so there's different video formats. So if the thing is flat, you're using one type. Interactive requires another format of video ads. So when I mean format, I don't mean like MP4 or those. It's like another technical thing lah. That's back end. So I don't know why they don't do it, but they do have their own. The only time they use it is I think for brand lift studies. So like they offer surveys for people to vote like, how much do you like the ad?
Correct.
So I think that's where they use interactivity at.
But it's not very interactive because I just anyhow click and then it's next.
Correct. But they use it, I think they use that format only for brand lift studies. They don't like take it, because there's no need for them to spend so much time and money, right?
Yeah, correct.
Like I get the same amount of money just by putting the ad. Why I give you this added service?
Yeah, lor. True.
Yeah, so I think that's what I think lah. My personal opinion is they don't need to do that because it's extra work. They don't make that much more money.
Yeah.
Like, why do I need to do that? So I think that's the key difference between having scale or having niche customizations. I think that's where the differentiation is, lor. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so with more of these brands, there's more credibility, right? So like, this brand, they use our player. This brand, they use our player.
Yeah.
Then like, the more you hear these names, then people are like, actually this player is free. Then people also using, then might as well, right? Yeah, so why we go to advertisers is that we tell advertisers and say, we can target only this content. So your ad will only show on publishers, like legit publishers. They will not show on illegal. It's a targeting thing lah. So that is possible where you exclude illegal content.
I think YouTube did that because YouTube now kind of like remove any videos that are like illegal or like doesn't meet the requirements and stuff like that. And
they do lah. They do try.
Try to clean it out. Yeah.
Correct. I think they do try. We do have a brand safety team, but I don't know what the company is doing long run. I don't know what's their final end goal, but I know that to please advertisers, it can be done.
Okay.
Yeah, to please advertisers, it can be done. Yeah.
So you basically move from marketing coordinator to sales marketing, and then after that, now you're shifting to another new role, is it?
So it gets more and more technical, if I would say that. So now I'm a advertising operations specialist.
Advertising operations, okay.
So initially I was marketing the content.
Yeah.
Then I was selling the ads.
Yeah.
So now I'm setting up the ads.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm ensuring that the ads that client bring in, they hit a certain KPI. And they're delivering technically, like on the tech side, on the back end side, they can deliver, they can hit their KPIs, we can maximize. So for example, client be like, I want to hit 6% click-through rate. Then what inventory is basically what video content, like video spaces lah. What inventory do we target to maximize these click rates?
Yeah.
And then if we are not, like, again, because video advertising programmatic is a bit like a stock exchange. So which are the funnels that you are connected to? There are different ad exchanges where you can connect to, so that whenever there's an advertiser that wants to bid for a certain ad, they will get inventory lah. So it's like optimizing these funnels so that we shift the priority around to ensure that we get the biggest amount of revenue from the inventory and the video assets that we have.
So you're saying 6%, right? 6%. Is that a very like normal target?
6 is very high.
It's very high.
It's very high. It's a very high click-through rate.
Wow.
If you can get 2 to 3 already, very good already.
2 to 3 is very good. 2 to 3%.
Click-through rate lah.
Means people actually click and go through the entire.
Correct. Yeah. So like it depends also.
Yeah. So then how effective is this kind of marketing? If it's only this high, it's only 6%. Is it 6% is very high already? So I'm pretty sure there's other marketing ways or advertising routes that you can go and actually produce a higher turnover rate, right? So why would people actually want to do like marketing on videos and stuff? Yeah.
So the whole world is moving into videos now. Like let's look at TikTok. Like Google search it goes back to consumer behavior and what they're looking for, I guess. So, and it also goes back to what is the aim of the client. So for example, we have a client that says, hey, I want my KPI to be click rates. So click rate is something that we can control. But then they tell me things like, I would like to have more converts.
More converts?
Meaning I want to have more people sign up. So how am I supposed to ensure that your advertisement, somebody will sign up, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like all I'm doing, you create the creative already, the message, the word, the copy, everything is there already.
Yeah.
So like, how am I supposed to?
Yeah.
Right? So that's when we will have to tell the clients lah, like, conversion is beyond our control. Yeah, but what we can do is we can maximize our click rates so that we increase the opportunities of people signing up.
Oh. Okay.
So initially the KPI was 6.
Yeah.
Then we raised it to 8. So now we're hitting around 8%, which is insane leh. Nobody click rate 8% wanna help. So like, I mean, it's possible if you target the right things and if the volumes are not huge. So in this case, like if you're looking for like 2 million views, or 2 million you want to have the full click rate, then obviously you need more volumes. So again, it goes back to that law. So I would say it's a conversation between the client and understanding what the needs are. So that's when the sales team steps in to say, you want to increase your click rate, then you have to work on your creative. So why not use our ad format? So my company, we not only like allows you to use we don't just let you use your interactive format. We actually throw in the interactive format for you. So we have an in-house creative studio that designs the format.
Oh, so you basically do everything for them lah, and they have to advertise it. Like you do the ads and also the advertising, the targeting.
Yes, advertising is part of it lor. So but the creative itself is like, if you have an existing video, like existing video that you got from some other platform, right?
Oh, okay.
Then we edit for you. We add maybe like the car, or we add like different things around. So there's the value addedness lor, which is something that YouTube doesn't do for you.
Oh.
Whatever video that you have, YouTube just takes it. They're not going to add new things. They're not going to try and optimize anything for you. They'll just, it is what it is lor. And again, because they are black box, right? You cannot go and tell them, hey, hello, excuse me, why the rate's so bad? They'll be like, this is just what we record. You cannot challenge. Because even third-party people like Nielsen, they cannot track. They have made their tech in such a way that it's not trackable by third party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's why a lot of people hate on them. Yeah, a lot of people, because they're just generating money lor. But they have skill, so who can blame them, right?
Yeah, but people still do go to them lah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can hate them, but the thing is that they still have they're still the monopoly and stuff.
Yeah lor.
Yeah. I think we kind of hit the 1 hour mark already, right?
Are we done?
I feel so bad. I feel like I can ask you a lot of questions.
We can take this offline.
Okay.
Or you want to continue there?
I don't know leh. I mean, okay lah. I think I can just cut it here, bah. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I've got a lot of more information about marketing, advertising, and doing your KPIs and stuff. I didn't know 8%. I didn't know 6% was so high.
It's very high. 6%. Like I tell you, 2 to 3, right, will be like, wow, very good.
No, but I honestly thought that the click-through rate would be much, much higher. Like, cause like you say, considering we're more moving towards video and stuff, right? And then people are putting more money into putting ads onto this kind of video. So I they kind of have this expectation to have like a higher conversion.
Yeah. That's the client's perspective lor, but you come from a consumer's perspective. If I watch 8,001 videos already, I just want to finish the video and finish the ad and watch my video. So I think a lot of clients, they expect whatever money that they put in to directly reap the results of it in sales. But they forget that in between there's a lot of steps. Yeah. And just because I click on it doesn't mean I'll buy it also. So it's a very, which is like, there's a lot of things to do with the tech. So now there's tech like UTM techs where you can track the consumer purchase pattern, like from all the way they click to all the way they purchase, how long did they take, what was the route.
Oh, you can actually see that.
If you have UTM trackers lor.
Oh, UTM tracker is like those Google tracker thing, right? What URL?
At the M, you have a UTM equals something. Yeah.
Oh.
We hate that kind because then the clients will ask us, hey, they got track this, they got like, we track all the everything. Then they can even track for things like, so there's this thing called frequency cap. So they'll tell us like, this ad, I only want it to show 3 times in the whole month. You cannot exceed that. Then we like, okay, then you have cookie matching and all that. So how I know I have the skill to hit this requirement? Yeah, that's why we hate it. Because the moment they have trackers, we need to be very transparent.
Which I think is, so ask one last thing only.
Okay, sorry.
Which I think is good, right? Because you're trying to differentiate yourself on YouTube, right? You're trying to be very transparent and stuff.
Correct. But then what we lack now is people expect the performance of YouTube with us. Like, bro, we don't have skill, right? So naturally, you need to lower your expectations. Yeah. So, lor.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming to this podcast.
Wow, the tone changed.
I feel like it's so fast. I don't know, this episode feels so fast. This episode was very fast. Yeah, to me it was very fast.
Okay.
Yeah, because normally we do like 1.5 hours and stuff. Yeah.
It's okay. We can always
do a part 2. Right? Everyone always say.
Oh, part 2. I know everyone always end with part 2.
Yeah, everyone always say that. Just a part 2.
Season 2 lah. You finish like 15 people, then you do season 2.
Okay.
Over time.
I think 2?
No, it's Zhishuan.
Yeah, Zhishuan did 2 times.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you later.
In over time. Okay, now Lydia come over. I think very hot at the chair. Wait. Should we end it like nicely so you have a nice place to cut? Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.